Sindhudesh, long live GM Sayed. I am grateful to all of you to provide me an opportunity to address the grievance of my people and my motherland Sindh. First of all, a very happy Independence Day to Bangladesh. The formation of Pakistan was nothing but a deception, a fraud with historic oppressed nations forcibly occupied and enchained in its federation. When we look back to history, the establishment of Pakistan, which was in fact a post-World War II British plan, was laid on the basis of fraudulent two-nation theory, according to which the Muslims of the world were a separate nation called Ummah. Irrespective of the West culture differences, historic national heritage, economic and political interests, and historic geographic boundaries, it was the first aspect of its unnatural theocratical existence just to create a buffer state between India and Russia and to justify the British control of Indian Ocean. From the very first day of its existence, Pakistan was vulnerable to rise of the national question, and it happened. It began after months of its creation. Balochistan and Kashmir were forcibly annexed through military expeditions. Provincial governments of Sindh and North Frontier Province, now Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, was dissolved. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Saint GM Sayed were put into jails, and Bengalis were killed to impose Urdu as a national language. It is the state that did not have any constitution for 26 long years. 26 long years. There was no constitution. This was an Islamic state made for and ran by an Islamic army. This indeed was a curious case. All the rest of the states in the world have armies, but here the army has entire state. Since very beginning, the Punjabi hegemony was imposed upon the 5 distinct historic nations, i.e. Sindhi, Bengali, Baloch, Pashtun and Kashmiris, by the Punjabi army, which indeed was the mighty remnant of the British Empire left behind to guard the interest of West and Indian Ocean. Dear friends, the first election of the Constituent Assembly were held after 23 years in year of 1970, and it ended upon the massacre of 3 million innocent Bengalis until India invaded military in the December of the year 1971 and Bangladesh got its independence. Thus all the other nations except Punjab tended to leave the federation, but once again they were forcibly enchained through a Senate document called the Constitution of Islamic Republic of Pakistan 1973, without any re-elections or new social contract between the nations constituting its federation from the truncated assembly, which was cause of the disintegration of Pakistan in 1971. Our national ideologue Said GM Sayed spent 33 years in prisons and house arrests in 48 years of his life after the creation of Pakistan, and so does Pashtun leader Badshah Khan and the same Baloch leader Nawab Khair Bakhsh Mari, just because of their opposition to concept of Pakistan and demanding independence for their nations entrenched in Pakistan. Tens of hundreds of our Sindhi, Pashtun, Baloch activist has been jailed, enforced disappeared, detained, inhumanly tortured, and extrajudicially killed, and their blood-reddened bodies dumped on the barren roadsides and trash cans in past decades. More than 600 Sindhi national activists were abducted, tortured, and forced to leave the nationalist politics in 2017 alone. Now, the entire international community that Pakistan is a state sponsor of terrorism. It has been the launchpad of terrorism for its neighboring states from Afghanistan to India. It has been providing safe havens and sanctuaries to international designated terrorists like Osama bin Laden, Mullah Umar, Mullah Mansour, Hafiz Saeed, Haqqani Network, and Masood Azhar. The CPEC is not only an economic agreement, but indeed it is the strategic and military aggression of China over Indian Ocean. Pakistan is partnering China to pursue its long-sought goal of greater Punjabi imperialism, and China is keen to control the trade routes of Indian Ocean. For this mutual cause, Pakistan and China are now partnering in Sindhi, Baloch, Pashtun, and Kashmiri's genocide. China is enhancing its naval forces to 400,000 marines and developing naval bases in Pakistan. It has also provided 8 nuclear submarines and has already docked 2 nuclear submarines at Karachi Port. It is also triggering arms race and direct military confrontation in the South Asian region. Pakistan is recruiting fresh forces of jihadis throughout a wide web of religious schools called madrasas. I also appeal the intellectuals from civilized nations of the world that in this era of leadership crisis on international level, they must come forward to save the fate of entire humanity, to save the lives of our children dying from starvation and poverty, to save our youth being dumped as the fuel of inhuman wars, to save our nations from entering arms race again, to save existence of the natural nations being massacred by rock fascist Islamic theocratic states like Pakistan. Humanity cannot afford wars in this era of 21st century. This is not the era of fatality and finding glory in killing each other. Rather, this is the era of exploring the universe. We, the humans of 21st century, we have been given the prophecy by the nature which